Good day. I'm Jeremy DeMoss on the day watch at the Fleetweather Ocean Routing Center in New York. Today is the 4th of September at 1800 GMT, and I'm going to give an update on Typhoon Hinnamnor in the Northwest Pacific. To start, we are looking at a satellite loop courtesy of SIMS of the system, and we can see a small but well-defined eye just north of 28 north latitude, and the system continues its northward motion. It's well northeast of Taiwan now. This is an ASCAT image just showing the tight circulation that was caught a few hours ago by the satellite overpass just as it crossed 28 north latitude, you can see here. And now looking ahead a little bit, there is an opportunity for continued strengthening in the very short term in the next 6 hours or so. The system has been moving over warm waters, as you can see here. These are 30 degrees Celsius. But as it continues northward, it's going to very shortly move into cooler waters, 25 to 30 range. That should contribute to some weakening as well as some increased wind shear. What we can see here on the overlays, the green and the yellow indicate low and moderate wind shear. And the system has been in an area of low wind shear, which has allowed it to strengthen over the last 24 hours or so. However, as it continues its northward motion, it's going to be moving into much stronger wind shear, which should begin to weaken it by early on the 5th. Now let's take a look at the expected track of Hinnamnor in the coming days. This is the latest forecast track from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, which came out at 1500 GMT on the 4th. And you can see the northward motion in the short term with some slight strengthening, followed shortly by a curve to the northeast and eventually over South Korea into the Sea of Japan. Looking at the track from Japan Meteorological Agency, we can see a very similar track, bringing it over South Korea and then into the Sea of Japan after that. The model guidance is in tight agreement on the track of the system over the next 3 to 4 days. This is the GFS ensembles. You can see a very similar track to what we just looked at from JTWC and JMA, and most members are in tight agreement of where the center will pass over approximately. And then also, this is the European ensembles. We can see a similar story as what we just looked at with the GFS. Now let's take a look at our in-house product. This is showing the GFS model at the current time on the 4th at 1800 GMT. And it's overlaid with significant wave heights. Those dark colors are in excess of 12 meters close to the center, and the red colors are 9 to 10 meters. And I'm going to loop this forward to show the motion in the coming days. As we move forward, it continues northward motion. It's being steered by a subtropical ridge to the east. This has allowed the system to move northward over the last few days. However, as it continues northward, it will begin to move around the ridge and move to the northeast. A trough will be approaching from the west and an upper level low as well, pushing the system further east, and it will begin to transition to an extratropical system as it nears Korea here on the 6th at 0 GMT. We can see wave heights in excess of 10 meters approaching Korea Strait around the same time. And then as the system moves into the Sea of Japan on the 6th all the way through the 7th, sea heights in excess of 7 to 8 meters will be possible across much of the Sea of Japan during that time. So any vessels in the Sea of Japan on the 6th and the 7th should be aware of this. Even as the system weakens somewhat and transitions to extratropical, we will still have high to very high seas associated with the remnants of the system. Once again, this is Jeremy DeMoss from the Fleetweather Ocean Routing Center in New York. Stay connected and safe.